Hi everyone, welcome back to Zesty Thoughts with your host Anabla. Welcome to episode 73. I hope everyone is having a wonderful week. We are having the craziest dry heat wave in Los Angeles right now. So my voice is all scratchy, my skin is all dry. I'm just like a dry girl right now. So bear with me, I might have to take a few water breaks during the pod today. But I hope everyone is having a wonderful week. I am off such a big high right now. Bad Bunny won album of the year, and I'm literally geeked, you guys. I was rooting for him. I have been obsessed with this album since it came out. And then I literally went to Puerto Rico last summer, and it was like the soundtrack of my trip and just like the soundtrack of my year last year. And it's such a sentimental album, and I feel like I had kind of a sentimental year, and it was just like, it was the most satisfying thing ever watching him win. And he got so emotional, and it would like choked me up low-key in the moment. I was like, oh, I'm so proud of him. And it was just such like a full circle moment. That album was phenomenal. Like I said last week, if you have not listened to it, please do. If you do not speak Spanish, put captions on, or on Apple Music, you can read the translated lyrics if you need to. Literally listen to it, watch his Tiny Desk. It's just an amazing message and just great music, straight up. So well deserved. I'm super happy about that dub. I also loved Justin Bieber's performance, and no, it was not just because he was in his underwear. I just thought his vocals sounded so good. I've just always been a Justin Bieber fan. I was a believer when I was little. I was obsessed. I had posters on my wall, and yeah, he's a cutie, but I've always seen through, his good looks, and he really is just such a talented guy, and I've always been kind of rooting for him. And, being a child star has its challenges, so I've just always I've kind of been a ride or die fan for so long. I think he's super talented, and this was just proof of that. I love that it was literally the definition of stripped down, and his vocals just sounded great, and I ate it up. I don't know, he's good. He's straight up just talented. So I really enjoyed that. And that song is just crazy. So I love that he did that. I also loved the tribute performances for D'Angelo and Roberta Flack. I mean, just iconic artists in soul and R&B. Being able to tribute some of the icons, that was just so tasteful. And I feel like it was the perfect way to tribute those two artists and, show respect by putting the best of the best, you feel me? So I really enjoyed that as well. I highly recommend y'all go check out those performances, the tribute performances, and then Justin's if you didn't get a chance to watch the Grammys. All in all, it was really good. I'm really proud of all of the best new artist performances. Those were really sick too. Kind of a medley back to back of all of the best new artist nominees. And I like Olivia Dean. I'm very proud that she won, because she's straight up just a good vocalist. But I need to listen to the whole album, because I don't know if I'm missing something. I like her, but I also feel that song is good. But it just didn't hit me in the same way that I feel it hit everyone. I'm did I miss something? Is there a meme associated with it or something? Because that song is just everywhere. I guess piggybacking on what I was talking about in last week's episode, novelty is something that I'm constantly looking for when I'm consuming new music and getting interested in new artists. And I just don't sense a lot of novelty with her. She's very talented, but I don't think it's breaking any barriers. And so I'm I don't know. It doesn't spark my attention as much as some of the other artists. I think I just need to give her a fair shot. I haven't even listened to the album. I've only heard the hit single, the one that she performed on the Grammys, which is good. It's just not a song that I would listen to all the time. So I need to listen to the rest of the project. Maybe there are deep cuts that are oh shit, you feel me? So I will check that out. Maybe I'll do that as an album review in next week's episode. But yeah, the Grammys are really fun this year. It is officially February, and I finished my first book of the year. I read Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow, written by Gabrielle Zevin. This was a recommendation from my bestie M. I asked her, we like celebrated New Year's together, and I was like, if you could recommend one book, like literally just one, that your gut tells you like I have to read, okay? Let me know. And then she literally went and grabbed this book and let me borrow it, and it did not disappoint at all. It's such an amazing, like, honest and authentic and vulnerable story about love and betrayal and like just like a life journey of like two people that you just really you find yourself really falling for these characters, like you really rooting for them. And I don't want to give too much away because I actually would recommend it to anybody to read. I think it's just such a beautiful story. There are amazing like life lessons in it. And yeah, I agree with M. Like based on the description, it's like two video game designers. I'm not like a gamer by any means, you feel me? So I wasn't so sure that I was going to be able to relate to it because of that. Like, were there going to be a lot of video game references that I didn't understand? And there like were some, but like I just like Googled them and then it was like, okay, period. But in my opinion, it wasn't like at the forefront of the story, so much so that it was like unrelatable to someone that's not a gamer or into video games. It's just such a touching story. So I highly, highly, highly recommend it. So I will link the Goodreads in today's pod description so y'all can check it out. I'm reading a book a month. That's like one of my goals for 2026. I probably could do more depending on the length of the book, but I do want to kind of like spread it out. And like I have, if y'all listen to my like episode, my New Year's episode, I have a lot of goals for myself, and I'm starting to realize that I'm spreading myself a little on the thin side, but I do still want to accomplish a lot of these things. So I'm going to really give it my best effort, and I can do anything, right? You feel me? I'm manifesting it now. I can do anything. I will do it all. I will give it my best, right? I am giving it my best in this moment. So I don't want to abandon any of these goals because I want to be able to look back on the year and be like, period, you did all of that, girl. That's crazy. So I'm now into February starting Conversations with God, book 2. I have all 4 of the books, so I will be reading all 4 of them eventually. I think next month I'm gonna jump into Akatar. I don't know. I'm like scared to start that because I'm like, am I gonna go down a rabbit hole and then like that's just gonna consume the rest of my year? Whereas like I have Barack Obama's book I want to read. I have a whole list of like 100 books on my phone that I want to read. So I'm like, do I even start that? Because then am I gonna like spiral and only want to read that the rest of the year? I don't know. I want to like have variety in the year. So I don't even know if I want to like unpack that yet because I feel like then it will be weird to like segment it. Whereas like Conversations with God is like so much to take in that it's like I don't mind I don't mind segmenting it because it's very like spiritual and like introspective, and it just like it kind of makes more sense to like break it up if that makes sense. So if anybody has book recs, let me know. Even though I do have a long ass list, I will add to the list. I trust y'all. So on to the next review. I watched Black Rabbit on Netflix. Okay. I love Jason Bateman. I have been a fan of him since I watched Arrested Development in college, I think. And that was it. That was like game over. And then Ozark, like everything he's been in, it's just like a game changer, 10 out of 10. So I immediately when I saw this like preview on Netflix, I was like, right, I have to watch the show. Okay. And then Jude Law is the other co-star. And it's like, oh, I love Jude Law. Okay. So I was like, this cast eats down. Like, there's no way this can disappoint. I watched the first like few episodes and I was like, okay, like waiting for something to happen. I feel like the first few episodes are just kind of like building up the storyline and like character history and like background. And so to me, they were kind of like slow and a little boring. And I even asked my dad, I was like, is something gonna happen? I'm kind of waiting for something to happen, right? Because it was like a little stagnant. But I'm glad that I stuck it out because it was freaking insane. Small spoiler for y'all that have watched this. The last episode was a lot to take in. Like, a lot to take in. Actually, the last 2 episodes, okay? Spoiler alert, skip to
10 minutes and 18 seconds.
If you don't want to be spoiled for Black Rabbit. When Vince is like confessing to Jake about their father, I was like, oh my God, this acting. Like, can they win an Oscar for a limited series? Because, like, what is this? Jason Bateman just does not disappoint. And Jude Law was just he just became that character. And I've seen him in a lot of stuff, but I feel like now, anytime I see him anywhere, I'm going to think of this role because it was just so believable. Like, both of them just become the characters that they are in such an insane way. And you know what? Jason Bateman does have this like weird thing where he like has these isms and like this like quality with which he interprets dialogue that's like very specific, like his pacing and his timing and his like sense of humor. And it's weird because he's kind of like that uniformly in a lot of the roles that he's done. And it's not like copy and paste, but there is just this underlying quality that he brings to a character. And so he's kind of in a way, not like typecast, but he plays that kind of sarcastic character very well, essentially. And even though that's kind of like a common thread with him as an actor, I was so grasped by his character, and I still believed it. You know what I mean? Even though he has that like common thread of like sarcasm, I just think he like plays that very well, and his timing is very effective and believable with that type of writing, essentially. It was just so freaking good. I got emotional during that scene. I mean, once you learned about that fact, it like just was like, okay, is he gonna tell him? Like, is he gonna say something? And there was this like looming, another spoiler, skip to
13 minutes and 7 seconds.
if you don't want to hear. I had this insane gut feeling that he was going to unalive himself, and that was still just insane and shocking, and it was just so heart-wrenching. And this show had such a weird way of like building up this like empathy for Jake, where you like want him to be free of that. You want him to like have that kind of escape from all of the trouble that his brother really does bring to his life. As soon as you learn what Vince did when he was a kid, it's like, oh. And then you have significantly more empathy for Vince. And it's kind of like, now I understand why Jake is just like loyal to a fault, you know, because the fact that he saw it, it's just so freaking insane. I don't want to say much more because I don't want to make y'all skip through like too much of the video with spoilers, but it literally was just so freaking jaw-dropping. I have no other words. So the first few episodes, I'm giving you a fair warning, are a little slow, but it is so worth it. Like the last 3 episodes, there's just so much suspense. And the last episode is like one of my favorite television episodes like ever. And specifically the scene of Vince and Jake talking in the bar at the end. It was just like, dude, it was just so heavy, but so honest and raw, and just like, I don't know if this is because I'm a Leo and I am like a super like loyal person, but it did make me reflect on the ways in which I am loyal, or maybe I'm like lacking loyalty with people that I love. And like, it made me like look up to Jake's character in a way like, oh my God, you really are just like, you don't give a fuck. You just like love him, and you're like straight up ride or die. And it made me like reflect on myself, like, oh, could I be more like that? And like, obviously there's like flaws to that to an extent. If you don't have boundaries with yourself and you don't take care of yourself, and if it like negatively impacts you to the point that like then you can't be there for that person, obviously. But it was just like, dude, it made me reflect a lot on like the concept of loyalty, which I am super fascinated by. And anyway, I just really recommend the show. All right, y'all, on to the next segment of the pod. I'm struggling a little bit this week because Mudgy Jordan Ward, and Don Toliver all released albums this week. So I'm like, great, when am I supposed to find the time to listen to all 3 of these and review them? Okay, so I threw on Don Toliver's album while I was doing dishes the other night. It's freaking insane. So it's called Octane. It's hip hop. It's Don Toliver. It's like what we know and love. I'm like a huge Don Toliver fan. I've gone down this like rabbit hole with his music the last few months, and this album did not disappoint. The visuals are crazy. The video for Excavator is freaking crazy. It's literally filmed in like, it looks like an observatory type of space, but it's like they have like, I don't know how to describe it. They have like instrumental like equipment like for like machinery, right? But then it's like you look closer and it's like music equipment. I don't know, it's super sick. They have like switchboards and like a whole like studio space set up, but it's like playing on that like kind of like industrial mechanical like equipment kind of thing, and they're all in like lab coats, and it's just like this cool ass like concept. So I love that song. Excavator is super cool. So to preface, I saved the entire album to my library after I listened to it the first time. To me, like on first listen, there were no skips, but I'm gonna listen to it again. I'm like driving a little bit this weekend, so I'm gonna give it a second listen. But I loved Excavator. I really liked E85, and there was one more. Who was the feature with? Oh yeah, Secondhand with Rima. Body is really good too. Honestly, all these songs, bro, like I really did like all of them. So I'm gonna give it a second listen, and I'll like give y'all a formal review with all the songs. But I'm so freaking stoked to listen to Jordan's new album and Majid Jordan. I've honestly been waiting for him to put something out for a minute. I've been like on a high from his last project, and I've been streaming it since it came out. So I'm super excited to hear it. All right, on to the next segment, y'all. My thirst of the week. Okay, so in the house somewhere, my dad found an old film camera, okay? I'll post a picture here. It's called the Nikon One-Shot Zoom 70 AF, okay? And this camera, fun fact, was released the year that I was born in 1997, which is freaking crazy. So like that camera is like as old as me, which is nuts. Okay, there was a battery still inside and a roll of film still inside. It's a mystery roll of film. Okay, the film, once we put a new battery in and we were able to turn the camera on, it did show on the counter that the roll of film was empty. Like it was like used up already, you know? So it's a mystery roll of film. Like we don't know what's on it. So I'm so excited to get it developed and like check it out and see what's on it, because I don't know how old it is. Like genuinely all of us were like, we can't remember like when we last used it. I never used it when I was little, and like I don't think I remember using it when I was little. So I'm like, how young was I when this was last used? But I don't even know if the film is gonna develop because it's like so old. Like it by now it could have been damaged. Like who knows if there's sun damage or whatever, or just like over time, you feel me? So I don't know. We have mystery film. We're going to see. I put a new roll of film in it, new battery, and it worked perfectly. The flash works and everything. So I'm super excited. That's going to be my new binky. I'm literally going to carry it everywhere I go and just like use it. Like there's something novelty. Me and Rocky were talking about this last week, my bestie. There's something so novelty about like cameras, like film cameras, like disposable cameras, like all this stuff, like Polaroids. That's just so like fun. It's just like an extra layer of like, ooh, like, you know, like nostalgia. You feel me? That just makes it like more exciting. It's also exciting because like you don't get to see the photo until it's developed, which is like super cute. So I'm gonna get that mystery roll developed, and I will keep y'all updated on what is on it because I don't know. So anyway, that is my new thirst of the week, my new baby. Okay, I started Heated Rivalry. By started, I mean I'm one episode in. Is it every episode like that? Can someone like give me a warning? I feel uncomfortable just watching this casually, if that makes sense. I'm like, this is giving 3 play. If you catch my drift. I'm trying to use code words right now to be appropriate, but people that know what I'm talking about, you get what I'm putting down. You get it, okay? So I'm like, I feel a little uncomfortable watching it because I'm like, this is like, no, like I don't want to watch this casually just like for fun. Like I feel like I don't know if that makes sense. If anybody else feels that way, I'm like, is there like more plot? Is there more lore that like I need to like keep watching it for? Or should I be only watching it in a specific context? Right? Do you guys get what I'm saying? I just don't know how to feel about it. I like want to watch more because like everyone's been talking about it and like hyped about it, but I'm like, is it only because of that aspect of it? And people are just like, hee hee hee, like giggling about it? Or is it like there's like something more? I don't know. I hope you guys understood what I was trying to say there. So I don't know. I'm going to keep watching it, but I'm definitely like, I can't watch this like at any time of the day. Like I can't be like, sometimes I watch like on breaks at work. I can't watch it at work, like on a break. That's just not possible. So I'm trying to figure out when that fits into my schedule. I'm going to keep watching it. I guess I'll keep you guys updated on my review. Oh my God, I almost forgot. I went to a yoga class. So shout out Oliver, the yogi. I literally had the most relaxing hour ever. Okay, this flow was so nice. It was vinyasa. It was like very like so quiet and peaceful. I have never done a yoga class with that many twists. Okay. My back the next day, I was like, first of all, it was like a little bit sore because maybe I like overdid it with the twist, but like the middle of my back, it was like, I felt like I could like breathe through my back if that makes any sense. But my posture was just like different. I just felt like taller and more flexible. I don't know, it was crazy. So shout out to the yogi Oliver. That was insane. And honestly, I've never even done a yoga class with like that many like tools and stuff. Like we were using blocks and things, and like maybe it's just because like when I was young, I was like already dancing a lot. I was already pretty flexible. So like to do most of the poses, I didn't like need blocks and things like that. So to me, it like feels weird to use them because like most of the time they're used as an assist if you like can't do a complete like position. Like if you can't reach all the way, if like, you know what I mean? If you need to like have some type of an assist and you can't like balance completely on your own or whatever. So that was like different. I was like using them sometimes, and then like other poses I was like, I don't like need these. But yeah, it was cool. There was like a lot of use of a bolster, which I never like thought to like invest in, but now I feel like I might. I mean, maybe just like a really like firm pillow would do the trick. But yeah, the bolster did make a huge difference on like my hips. I have pretty flexible hips to begin with, but I do feel like that helped a little bit. So I might try to get like a firm pillow or a bolster and use that with some of like the sitting poses, because I feel like it also might help with like my lower back a little bit. So anyway, shout out. Hi, Chelsea Belsey. Do you want attention? Oh no, she's leaving. Okay. Anyway, she just came to say hi. So that's going to wrap up today's episode, y'all. I've just been off of some strong ass coffee, yapping away today. I hope y'all have a wonderful week. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I'm going to put links below for all the stuff I reviewed this week. I hope you have a fantastic week. Have a fun weekend. Stay safe, and I'll see you next week. Bye.